What's up, Raleigh? Yeah, that's what I like to hear. So, anybody from Durham? Yeah, fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I was just there last night. They invited me to throw out the first pitch at the Durham Bulls game. Yeah.
Nice.
And they won. So, I think I'm a bit of a good luck charm.
All right.
So I didn't go all the way move here like this one did. But she drove cross country from LA like a month and a half ago, and here she is. So if you see her in the streets and on the neighborhood, please don't scream. Try not to suck any dick on the way to the parking lot. By the way,
they might be able to get away with that in LA, maybe. But here,
well, they were just like, well, let's get a number, buddy. You know, because everybody's doing it. Fair warning. We are from movies that are rated R and some other kind of, questionable kind of things. Questions may come up that are a little inappropriate for people like under 18. If you feel that you have little ones with you and you don't want to have a long car ride home, like, Mommy, what about this snowball thing? Now is your fair warning to the exits are there and there. So just so you know, yeah, okay, good, just so you know. There was a couple with two younger ones today who was like, "Oh, you having a cute?" And they go, "Is it safe for them too?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, if we stick to questions that are the cartoon or the game show or something like that, that's one thing. But otherwise, no."
But they're gonna ask whatever they ask, and it is a mostly R-rated franchise. That's kind of its charm and kind of its humor.
So then on the count of three, if the whole audience can just say "fuck it," it would be a good way to clear the room. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I love you guys. All right, here we go. Take it away, Maddie.
I don't see anybody leaving. All right, sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. We've done this on stage on the little internet world during the unpleasant years of lockdown. But just in case anybody doesn't know, let's real quick. What's the origin stories? How did you guys fall into the first Clerks?
Well, we were both doing community theater in New Jersey, and some Her Jersey people, okay, and heard about the auditions. It was said a kid is making a movie. He's going to be holding auditions at the First Avenue Playhouse, which we have both worked at, and come on down, do a monologue, and just kind of have fun. And yeah, there were a lot of looky-loos, though. I remember that.
Yeah, the owner of the First Avenue Playhouse, which is a playhouse in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, same town actually where Kevin now owns his childhood movie theater, the Smodcastle Cinema, same street, First Avenue. The owner had called me, this is before the internet and before cell phones, to say, "Hey, Brian, this kid is doing this movie in town next month. They're holding auditions. You're in the age range of what they're looking for. They're renting our theater, hold auditions." And in turn, we said we'd call our stable of actors to let them know about this auditions. Plus, he also posted in the local newspaper where on Wednesdays, the auditions for local community theater would be posted, things like that. And so the month came and went, because I thought, "Oh, that's great." So when are they? It's like Sunday night and Monday night. I'm like, all right, cool. The month came and went. I was working at another theater doing another show at the time. And
You're doing Dracula, right?
Huh?
You're in Dracula?
I did Dracula 3 times. Playing Renfield, the lunatic.
He's an awesome Renfield.
I'm not suave enough to be Dracula, but I'm like, yes, this very crazed Renfield, which I loved, which I was just like, ooh, it's kind of Gollum-esque when I think, now that Andy Serkis is here this weekend, now I think about back in my 91, 92, I'm like, oh, it was kind of like Gollum in a way. I just never said precious. I just said master a lot. So came and went, totally forgot. Monday morning I get a call at my mom's house where I was living, and they were like, "Brian, I thought you were coming to auditions last night." I'm like, "Oh my God, I totally fucking forgot." I said, "It's tonight as well." He goes, "Yeah." And then went and then auditioned. And the guy who was videotaping the auditions for Kevin, his name is Vince Pereira, I'd gone up to him saying, "Hey, how many principals are there?" And he said, 6, but we've already got them cast. This is just all day players. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Not knowing what the script was or anything, he didn't hand it out. You just went and did your monologue, and then filled out the application, so to speak, which was more of a questionnaire, because it was like, what's your favorite film?
Yeah, I don't remember the questionnaire. I try to remember. It's so long ago.
I remember it was a questionnaire like, who's your favorite filmmaker? What's your last film you saw? And at the time, Malcolm X by Spike Lee had come out. And so I was like, oh, Spike Lee's amazing. Malcolm X was an amazing film I just saw, blah, 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 blah. And it made me, I think it gave me some indie cred with Kevin. Like, oh, this guy likes indie films. This is great. Spike Lee, all right. And then I remember doing the audition, which was, I cobbled together a monologue from a play that we did together called Wait Until Dark, which is a very dramatic kind of piece. They made a movie about it in the 60s. And it's a real, and I played the evil, like drug dealing kind of character. So I did this evil audition, which if anybody has the 10-year anniversary DVD, the Clerks X, the black box version, on one of the extra DVDs is the auditions of everybody. And so you'll see me do that. It's a perfect masterclass on what not to do for an audition. Like turn your back to the person that you're doing the audition for, look down a lot. Like it was a lot of weird things. But he liked the fact that I knew a lot of dialogue, that I was able to spit bars of dialogue out with no problem. And he liked that evil presence, and he thought, man, I don't have a villain in my film, but if I did, he'd be perfect. But if he could play a villain, he could play a sappy, whiny bitch of a clerk. And thus I did a callback where I read the independent contractor scene with Kevin as Randall. And he's like, what do you think? And I was like, oh, well, actually, it's very funny. I mean, that character's really funny, but this is kind of funny. He's like, do you think you'd want to do it? And I was like, sure. And then I was like, well, who is he in the film? And like I said, I didn't know what the film was about or anything. He's like, well, the film's called Clerks, and it's these are the two clerks. And, you know, you'd be one of the two leads. And I'm like, oh, when I was in the audition, the guy videotaping said that you had the leads. He goes, yeah, don't worry about that. So his good friend, Ernie O'Donnell, who was the fitness guy, Rick Darris at the end, is like, you're out of shape. He would have been Dante. So, like, the famous line would have been read like, hey, I'm not even supposed to be here today. That's always I bust Ernie. I love Ernie to death. He's a good friend of mine, and I bust his balls about that all the time. But he would have been the man who would have been Dante. But I'm glad that Kevin trusted in me and I was able to carry the role for 30 some odd years. So.
Yeah, it was about a week after I did my audition that he called me up, and he wanted me to go to the convenience store and read the script to see if I was comfortable with the dialogue. So I took it to work, and I was reading it there, and it was, I thought it was just hilarious. So I was totally in, and then they had the callbacks for the guys, and that's when I found out that Brian was possibly involved. So we had done theater together, so it just would have been, you know, icing on the cake to have done it with him. So
which is really funny. Throughout our years of working together in different plays, I've been your brother, your potential murderer, and your boyfriend at the same time. The only thing I never was your dad. Thank God. I mean, if I stop coloring, I could probably play your dad now. So we'll see.
Too much. Made it. It was put out in the ether. When did you guys realize that it had the Spike on VHS? That's a thick thing of tape. Ask your parents.
Parents, ask your grandparents.
When did you guys realize that it would only fade to a certain point and it just stayed? When did you realize that it had a fandom that was just like hovering around?
For me, it was going to Sundance. As I was flying out there, they already were having a screening of it. And as I am then, once I get everything to where we were staying and I'm walking around Sundance, and people were immediately recognizing me, and that was like the weirdest thing ever. Sometimes it's
37!
What basically they were saying, it's like, oh my God, we saw Clerks today. It's like, it was amazing. We loved it and all that kind of stuff. And then there were 2 screenings then by the time he got there.
Yeah, there was a total of 4 screenings. So 2 screenings had happened. I could only afford to it's 10 days is the festival. I could only afford to go for 5 of the 10 days. And so I flew out, and 2 of the screenings went, and they went really well. First of all, it was the first film at Sundance history to sell out all 4 of their screenings before the festival started, which was unheard of. And I think it's a record that still holds today. So that was weird alone. Like, first of all, and Jeff had always had a great thing. People were buying tickets, you know. Like, he was always that kind of like, really? But we all got out there, and we all rented this condo in Park City. And as much money you put into the kitty of what room or part of the floor or couch or out on the deck is where you slept, depending on how much you paid in.
We had the floor.
Yeah, we could afford floor. And so it was a lot of fun. And so there, she'll finish the story about we're walking on the main street of Park City, Utah, and I am clean shaven because I'm doing another play at the time. You finish.
And so they stopped me again. It's like, oh, we saw the movie. We really loved it. It's like, your roles were great. And I'm like, this is Dante. And they're like, oh my gosh, didn't recognize you.
Because when I'm clean shaven, I look like I'm 15 years old. Right, right. And so it was that type of thing where I was like, yeah, hey. And then you know, you got to be like, I'm not supposed to be here. And then like, now I get it. I hear it now and stuff like that. But it was the type of thing where from that, because there was only one screening earlier. It was in New York City at the New York Independent Feature Film Market, which is a film festival that doesn't even exist anymore. We had one screening on the Sunday at 11 a.m., 25 people in the audience, 18 of them which were us. And we were lucky enough that one person who saw it was named by the person by the name of Bob Hawke, who worked with the Sundance Institute to find films to then tell them to submit. And he was the one that encouraged Kevin to submit the film. And so after the 2 screenings and then the third, and I went to the third and then the fourth, which had like every fucking A-list kind of celeb wanting to see it because the buzz was out that this is the movie for Gen X and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, it was the same year that Reality Bites was premiering. They premiered at Sundance, where they're like, this is the whole thing about Gen X. And I remember watching Reality Bites going, really? This is Gen X? All right. Not my Gen X. Maybe Hollywood Gen X, but not poor fucking New Jersey Gen X, because that's us. And I think there's a lot more of us than there's a lot more of you. Sorry, Winona. And no hate to her. I love her. I loved everybody in Reality Bites. It just didn't feel or speak authenticity. It was still a love story. Our love story is where the main female fights with the male because he's pining over his ex-girlfriend who then fucks a dead guy in a bathroom. You don't find those scripts in Hollywood anymore. You know what I mean? So.
And we did a lot more press towards the Gen X than Reality Bites did while we were there.
Listen, when the Library of Congress admits you in to be preserved, I think that's a kind of a stamp of approval.
In eternity.
So when these fucks in Washington go down to their bunker, yeah, thank you, and they're looking for entertainment to watch, Clerks is one of them. I will live on for other generations of alien life to go like blah 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 Clerks, blah 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 37 dicks. Blah blah blah. You 37, you. Embarrassing alien life forms 200 years from now. Who could? The way this fucking year's going, it could be by December we have a visit.
No.
Every fucking day. I find myself every day saying, well, like, for fuck's sake, like, all the time now. I look at like, today was like, Hulk Hogan passed away. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. We're just getting over Ozzy, and, you know, now Hulk,
Yesterday, I was looking to see who number 3 was. It's like, oh, okay, no, number 3 today.
Yeah.
It is today.
Yeah. I said a certain politician, but she's like, we can only hope. So.
I said he's too narcissistic anyway.
Yeah.
You actually make a valid point, though, because, Easy Rider, Saturday Night Fever, Clerks. It really is our Gen X. If you could define us in one thing, yeah, it is. It's going to be that movie.
Yeah, I definitely think that if you're doing decades, especially, those are some good choices for the decades. And I'm glad that we were able to do it. And then when you said it was weird that it kept on going, because literally a year later, Kevin produces along with Universal Studios and Jim Jacks, Mallrats. And so, thank you. Yeah, 30 years this year, by the way. 30 years this year. Which is weird to say, and which we have Mr. Svenning himself on the floor tonight. Yeah. That's right, motherfucker. Cheer for Michael Rooker. Which is funny, which is just, when you do that impersonation, it's just older guy Jay Muse. When you take that voice and youngify it a bit and get a little younger, it's like, Yos, what's up, Yos? And then get older, it's like, listen here, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. You know? Same
Really
shit.
is.
He's literally next in here.
I
After
know,
you guys.
same shit.
No, literally,
Same
he
shit.
is.
Oh, good. So let's go long so he can hear me talk shit about him. Get off the stage, motherfucker! No, you get off the stage, motherfucker! That's so funny. So when we did that, the advertising for Mallrats was from the director that brought you Clerks, which 90% of the audience, what the fuck is Clerks? Because they liked Mallrats. It had this kind of, like financially in Hollywood terms, it didn't do really well, but it still was passed around for, VHS, it was still around, and then to DVDs, passed around from dorm room to dorm room, you gotta see this movie. And then they'd all be curious, like, well, what did I miss? Where was this Clerks movie? And then that had a resurgence. Like me and Jeff went to a convention for video store owners. It was in upstate New York at this resort, and we were sent as representatives by Buena Vista Video to sell more copies. And we had one of the main executives of Blockbuster come to our booth and be like, do you know your movie Clerks is one of the most unreturned and stolen tapes in our chain? And I said, well, that's our fan base, sir. A bunch of cheap thieves. Would you like to order 20 more cases? It's true. I have more people who come up to the with the VHS copy of Clerks that says Blockbuster,
Yeah, I'm about to say those rental
Hollywood
stickers.
Video, and home movie kind of place, like where it's just that black hard plastic cover. It's not even the real cover on it, and where it says "Be kind, rewind" on it. But yeah, so that's one of the badges of honor I hold. Is like it's the most stolen movie ever.
Wow.
Exactly. I'm talking, listen, Library Congress, hot fucking commodity stolen tape. You listen, I did a movie called Vulgar. Yeah, exactly. When Howard Stern was still on free radio, we went on the show, or the writer-director went on the show to promote it. And Howard said, to be honest, guys, I had to stop this movie halfway through. And they're like, what? He's like, no, not because it was bad. It was too disturbing for me to watch, to finish. And so we ran with that, like, a movie so disturbing, even Howard Stern had to stop watching it. Vulgar. You gonna watch it, or are you gonna turn it off? It's up to you. All right, that's enough of me. My break. All right, Nara, come.
No, that's pretty much it. Thanks for indulging my curiosities always. And on behalf of myself and this audience, I just want to thank both of you. You guys have taken these roles as a responsibility. This weird gig that you did decades ago, which has still been around, and you guys are still coming back. You're still taking the bounds for it. And you both are just so kind to the fans and the audiences, and just thank you both for that, for being good to everyone. And having
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's.
Thank-
Thank you so much, but we've been incredibly blessed to have been able to have the blessing that is Kevin Smith, being a writer and a director who's prolific, who decided to take these characters, create this Askewniverse, a multiple bunch of movies that still take place in this general vicinity of New Jersey in the same time period. Because Mallrats makes reference to Clerks, then Chasing Amy talks about Mallrats and Clerks, then Dogma is Jay and Silent Bob, obviously, and talks, like, it's all intertwined. And there have been a few people, even in the past 2 days, who have never seen any of the movies, because, there's new generations born all the time and stuff like that, and people are responsible parents and don't let these kids watch it at too young of an age, so they don't know what these movies are. Like recently, because I was part of the game show The Floor, I'm getting these older people and young people like, we loved you on the floor! And these young kids like, we love you on the floor. I'm like, this is weird. I don't know how to talk to children. I've never been in stuff that children watch. And that's the type of thing that if y'all don't watch them, we can't make more of them.
Yeah.
So that's the great thing, is that Kevin writes them. We laugh about it. We want to do them. We love them. But we're so thankful that people find our Central Jersey kind of weird kind of humor appealing and want more of it. And so he's going to milk the Jay and Silent Bob cow for fucking I don't know how long, because we're making another one of those in September. Yeah. So it's that type of thing that as long as we're all living and breathing and do things before AI takes over, we're going to make them.
Yeah, but I personally just love meeting you all. I really do. I love hearing your stories. I love hearing what it means to you, what it's done for you in your life. So, yeah, bring it.
And creatively, I would argue the View Askew universe is the most successful cinematic shared universe.
Aw,
You know,
thank you.
creatively, maybe not financially, but we can agree it's probably still the best managed, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we definitely have the core people still writing it, obviously still directing it. As much as you see the fucking trolls out there like, oh, Kevin Smith's gone woke. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck that means, but sounds fine with me. Like, you know, it is what it is. But he still makes stuff, and we still get as bawdy as ever. So it is what it is. Thank you.
Who wants to start us off? Okay, I'll go this one right here.
Look at you running
guys wanna
around.
see-
Normally there's a mic in the audience, but look at
Well,
you.
who thinks they're gonna ask a question?
There you go.
I'll tell you what. Then we'll do a line. I'll get this guy, but let's go ahead. Do a line over here. That way, I think our cameras can get you better. So
There you
do a
go.
line there, and I'll take care of this. Hey, how's it going? What's your name?
My name's Terry. Actually, we talked a little bit earlier.
Yes, I did. Good to see you
Yep.
again, Terry.
So I've got to ask both of you, what was the most embarrassing story that either of you have about either Kevin or Jeff?
Wow, this guy wants
Ooh.
some tea spilled.
You're going straight for the throat, aren't you?
Spill
Okay.
the tea on Kevin or Jeff.
I don't know that I've got embarrassing stories, though. You would have more, because if you can't tell, other than Kevin, Brian tends to talk as well. So
What? I'm giving them money's worth.
yeah, I don't know that I really have any embarrassing stories. I don't know. You?
Trying to think. I mean, there was something that was very funny. Me and Jeff were walking somewhere, and someone recognized who I was, and Jeff was not wearing his hat. Because in real life, he really doesn't. He wears a hat normal way, like not backwards. And we were stopped by someone like, oh my God, you're Dante, blah, blah, blah. Can we take a picture? And I was like, sure. And like, do you mind? And handed the camera to Jeff. And he did the typical Jeff Anderson, Randall, like, you know, that kind of thing. And he's like, sure. And took it, and then like slowly handed it back to the guy. There you go. And he's like, thanks, buddy. Anyway, oh my God, what are you guys doing? What are you doing in town? I'm like, well, we're here for a Comic-Con. Really? I said, yeah, it's gonna be me and the guy who plays Randall. Oh my God, Randall's gonna be here too? I'm like, and so Jeff's like, yeah, he is. You know, in the Randall type voice. And then he told, oh my God. It's not so much dirt on him, but there's many times where when me and Jeff are out in the town especially, we just run into some of the funniest fucking people in just weird scenarios. And as far as dirt, Kevin, there's no dirt on Kevin because Kevin puts out his own dirt. Like, he would be the best defense lawyer ever for a client because did you or did you not, Mr. J. Muse, do heroin at one time in your life? Like, he would undercut any prosecution because he would just lay out all the fucking dirt. And J. Muse like, sure did, this vein right here 5 times. You know, like, they don't care. They bare their soul. If you listen to any of their podcasts or go see any of their live shows or see their, you know, Jane, Silent Bob Get Old shows, they talk about hemorrhoids, all sorts of shit. Mm-hmm. So there is nothing that I have on those cats because they beat you to the punch. So you want to know dirt about them? Just listen to the podcast.
And I don't have it's not necessarily an embarrassing story, but as he was telling his story about that whole incident with you and Jeff, it's like there was an incident where I posted a photo where we were sitting next to each other on an airplane. And so I had a fan say to me, it's like, oh my God, it's like you must be so excited to be sitting next to Brian who played Dante. And I was like, I play Veronica, so she was embarrassed. Like, I don't remember who that was, but yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah. Ginkgo biloba, I heard, is really good for memory. So.
Who to start us off with? Oh, hey guys, we have a sign, so we're totally covered.
Oh, matured audience suggested.
Oh, there you
Shit.
go.
You know that should be at the door, right? I'm no fucking logistics major, but that's like walking into a burn unit and it's till you open up the curtain, it's like burn ward. And if you're friends of the cartoon, you know where I'm talking about. Hey. Another burn ward.
Did he? Hi, what's your name?
V.
Hey, V.
Are you guys satisfied with the specific endings of your characters? Not the story as a whole, but your lots in life.
Well, I'm not dead, so yeah.
Fucking spoiler alert. The fuck?
At this point, spoilers are gone.
Wow. And geez, I'm in the room. You know, if anybody saw the original ending of the first Clerks, Dante gets shot and killed at the end of the movie. So this motherfucker's been trying to kill me since 1993. I think he got pissed after his wife really enjoyed making out with me in Clerks 2. Kidding. Kidding. Jokes. All jokes. You know what it was? I think he saw Avengers Endgame a little too much because he was always posting about how awesome that movie was. And I think the emotional response to Tony Stark's death, he's like, I have a fucking dude with a goatee. I should kill him off. He's the beloved linchpin of my universe, too. So I think I call myself the Tony Stark of the Viewers universe. And so even though I didn't snap, I did make that universe a little bit better by being in it. But at the same time, I'm cool with it. There's been a lot of people talking about Paramount bought the rights to Dogma, again, from the devil himself, by the way. So it's very apropos. And so with that, to make the money back for the purchase, Kevin took the movie on the road and had live screenings again with a nice, clean 4K print of it. And I remember fans were like, are you going to make... He's like, I have an idea for a sequel. Now, it doesn't mean he's typing an idea. His head ruminates ideas all the time. And, you know, so he'll smoke some weed and be like, ooh, I see God. What do you want me to do, Jesus? And then figure out some more what's going on. So there have been a lot of fan kind of like hopes about of Dogma 2. It's like, well, God could come back again. And just like the end of the first Dogma, she could snap her fingers and shit comes back again. So like our version of Thanos, but in a good way. And I think Atlantis would be more than happy to come back again. So they would like, and then Dante would be back in the universe as a whole again. And Becky and the unborn child. And then you guys can do that 2 Clerks and a baby movie, you know. You like Tony Danza.
There are 2 other Hicks, though, brothers.
True.
So.
There's Grant Hicks, or cousins, we don't know.
Right.
There is Grant Hicks and Sean Hicks, the executive from Chasing Amy, and Gil Hicks from Mallrats, and then Grant Hicks from Jay and Silent Bob, the news reporter. So there is a couple of ways to get me back, because I know people saw his 4:30 movie where it says Clerks 4, you know, which I was like, why would you even put that out there? Why give yourself that headache with the fans? The thing I always want back is the cartoon series. Yes. And for one reason and one reason only. Do you see the fucking lines these voiceover guys get? I'm just kidding. I want to play the characters again, but in the cartoon world, because it's an open universe.
And I'm hoping they bring Veronica into the cartoon as well.
Yes, because they're such sexist bastards. Thank you, V, for your question. I hope we was able to answer for you.
Come on, thank you. Hey, what's your name?
Rich.
Hey,
Hi,
Rich.
Hey, Rich. Hey, Rich. Hey, Brian, thanks for meeting me earlier. Let's go, Mets.
Let's go, Mets.
Speaking of the original ending to Clerks, my question was, what was your reaction when Kevin decided, oh, we're not going to go with that ending, we're going to go with this other ending? Because I know when I saw it, and like 10 years later, I was like, really? He was even thinking about doing that? What was y'all's reaction?
That, first of all, it wasn't Kevin's decision to cut the ending, to be honest with you. It was kind of heavily suggested by his producers rep saying, why the fuck would you piss off your audience with this comedy of a movie? You should get rid of that ending. And so he did. After that first screening that we talked about at New York, and then in preparation for Sundance, he went through and did this edit. I mean, Kevin had a valid reason. It's like, well, look at the irony. He wasn't supposed to be there that day. This happens a lot to bodega owners, especially in the New York area, convenience store owners, gasoline attendant and convenience store owners, and now Uber drivers. Like, there are people who are getting held up and shot for fucking no reason at all sometimes. So he wanted to have this serious kind of, I'm an independent filmmaker with a serious message in the end. And they're like, it's a fucking comedy, knock it off. So they, through the business end of things, he's like, all right. And to be honest with you, it was a great decision because John Pearson, I kind of, in my head, send him a fruit basket every year on the anniversary. Thank you, John Pearson. It's because I got to live on for 30 more years in that role. So I was happy with that decision, and I'm glad that Kevin kind of saw the light in that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Joe Corey. I used to write for Quick Stop Entertainment.
All right.
Website.
Well, good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you. I'm wondering, when you went from Clerks 1 to Clerks 2, what was it like having to deal with color on the set instead of black and white?
Well, to be honest with you, Clerks 1 was in color, just the camera wasn't working right. No, it was weird in the very beginning. First time ever seeing it on the big screen in color, where we had to adjust to it. But what was great was not only was it in color, but the story written for Clerks 2 was such more diverse and such more life to it that it was great to come into color and to be that way and be color. And then towards the end, when they finally get their dream, they're owning their own store and they're back to being in the quick stop again, how it ends fading back into black and white, knowing that they're now a prison of their own making. That's why Misery is the song by Soul Asylum as it ends. So I thought it was beautifully done. It's definitely my favorite movie as far as fun-wise, because I have people like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, I don't have a favorite movie. It's like asking a mother her favorite child. They're all very special. But for the most fun I've had on a movie, definitely Clerks 2 is the one up there. But thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Raymond. I've always wondered what was your initial reaction when you found out they were going to kill off Dante?
What was yours? You go first.
Oh my gosh, what was it? I don't know. But I do know that just like everybody here, when we went, actually, before we even had a screening and we were shown what was happening, I was bawling my eyes out. And then when we went to the screening in Red Bank, where for the kickoff of the tour, just the reaction from the people was also having me bawling my eyes out. That even still after when we started the Q&A, I'm still like bawling my eyes out. And you know, it's not knowing, just like you, it's like not knowing, it's like, well, you know, is this the end of this era kind of a thing? But yeah, yeah, that's all I can say. I don't know.
Well, when the idea of a Clerks 3 first came up, the first version of a script was incredibly dark. It was different than what you guys finally saw. There was a different feel to it. Dante was always dying in the end of that one, and it had a different feel. He actually died in a mass shooting, actually saving his kid. So it's a little heavy. So when we were still working with the Weinstein Company back then. They had what was called first look, last refusal, meaning they get the first look of any sequel. They go, yeah, we'll do it. Or they go, no, we won't do it. And then when we make the film, once we're done, they have the last look at it, which is like, oh, we do want it. We'll pay everybody that you had to pay, and now we own the film again. And so when that was still going on, we were still battling with the Weinstein Company for money that was owed to us from Clerks 2. And Jeff especially was like, fuck those. I'm not doing another sequel till we equal out what we were owed. You think I want to make those fucking guys more money? You got to be fucking kidding me. So that kind of died on the vine there. Plus, me and Jeff both felt like it was super dark. It was like a really dark version of a Clerks story that didn't quite feel Clerks-esque. So years go by. Then Kevin has his heart attack, and everybody's concerned, obviously. And then Kevin went on to do Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and then he came to us again and said, hey, we had settled with the Weinstein Company, not to our favor, because that's the fucking Weinsteins. And then Kevin wrote this other script, and it was more, to excuse the pun, very more heartfelt, very more like, all right, this is kind of cool. And it was funny because he took an idea about Randall making a movie about his life, about the Clerks, you know, and which we were going to use for the cartoon series. We were going to do a 3-part part of that story in the cartoon series. There was no heart attack involved, but it was just the two clerks making a movie called Clerks. It was a very inside joke kind of thing, and took that idea back from 2000 and revitalized it for Clerks 3. So then when reading that script, he finally then sends us the script of this one. I remember getting to that part, and I just started bawling at my desk. I was just bawling my eyes out. We had just gotten out of the lockdown, and I remember going like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I called him, and I got choked up in the phone call going like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, and wow, what vitriol that's coming out, and this kind of leveling and just pouring out his heart, and the way that Becky had passed, and with the unborn child, and it was just like super heavy. And then the actor in me went, I love it. I love it. I'm going to have this challenge of taking this character, this arc, and delving into depression and the loss of a loved one and blah, blah, blah. So as an actor, I was very enthused about the dark subject. And then the days of filming those subjects, like at the movies, and then again at the graveyard, and then again, finally, the scene where he's in the hospital bed in the movie, he plays his movie for him, and then music, so great. So in the end, I'm very at peace with it as well. And look, if it's good enough for Tony Stark, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Logan from the Logan movies, I think Dante Hicks passing is pretty good, nice of an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. What's on the horizon for both of you? Got anything cooking that you're allowed to share with us?
Nothing.
Well, you now live in Raleigh,
Well,
so
no,
now
I'm
you
just
got to
gonna say-
explore
Well,
Raleigh.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
basically it's just like getting myself acclimated and finding a job, finding an apartment, and I'm loving living with my daughter and her family, but I feel lost without having my stuff, which is in storage. So yeah.
So if anybody has a business or know people have business looking for a great receptionist or a hair salon, she's a hairstylist by trade.
No, I can't do it anymore.
I know, but you're not a hairstylist, but you
No,
can be a
right.
receptionist.
I could be a receptionist.
Or
I'd
a
be the
spa,
best receptionist
a
you'd ever have.
spa, or something like that. She's fantastic with. Anybody know really great neighborhoods for apartments? You want to have Veronica living in your neighborhood? Just saying. You could scream, try not to suck on the way through the parking lot. Just saying.
Also looking at possibly maybe even doing some acting coaching.
Apparently
So,
she makes a mean lasagna. Just saying. I have a couple of movies that are coming out. I have a movie called Delco, the movie about Delaware County in Pennsylvania. Anybody from there? Delco? Philadelphia? All right, anyway. That's going to be at Kevin Smith's Film Festival, which is the Smodcast Film Festival in New Jersey. And then another movie I just found out is making that festival debut as well, of a film called Comedy of Errors. It's myself, Noel Leon, a stand-up comic, Judy Gold, Andy Dick. Yes, that Andy Dick. He's all sober apparently now and got his life straightened out. But it's a very funny comedy that's making the rounds right now. Jay and Silent Bob Store Wars starts filming in September. Last I heard, and hopefully it'll be out next summer. And then I'm producing and directing a documentary about this paleontologist who's made an incredible discovery that should make the news by next year. So I'm in the process of, we're going out to Montana to this dig to go back to the area where he found this item. It's going to be crazy when the news about this item is out. So I've been very fortunate enough to be called in to be a part of that.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot because I do have some short films as well as a feature film that's hitting the festival circuit right now. One that's going to be also at Smod Castle is called I Don't Know, and I have a super fun scene with John Kapelis. Totally great. And the other short films are The Vote, and I forgot, Sorry Sugar, or Sugar Sorry, I forget, I'm sorry. But look at my social medias, and it's all the information's there.
And I forgot as well, just a couple of weeks ago, I shot a movie called Beyond the Crashing Waves, and Billy Zane's in it. I'm in a couple of scenes with Billy Zane,
Nice.
so he's here this weekend, starting tomorrow. So Beyond the Crashing Waves, that's like a family drama that comes out next year. So yeah, there's a bunch of things coming up that are really exciting.
Are you doing any of our nighttime programming this weekend?
Yes, but this weekend, the more important thing, because you're all here, tomorrow night, 11 p.m., I know it says 11:15, I always say 11 p.m. to get there early to get the good seats. 11 p.m., up on the main stage, I am hosting the Burlesque Show, which is the theme is the Boob 2 Review. Yes, clap for that. Fantastic performers from Vegas, LA, New York, Boston. These people are professionals. This is Vegas level style burlesque, and it's all in the fantastic Comic-Con themed kind of characters and outfits. There's 2 full bars in the back of the room. It's a great way to end your night. I'll also not host, but I'll also be participating at some point at one of the karaoke nights.
Cool.
And I usually stumble into Drunk on Disney at some point as
Yeah.
well.
You gonna stop by the VIP party tomorrow night?
VIP tomorrow night, yes, I definitely am going to be at the VIP
Cool.
party. If you're VIP badge holder, there's the VIP party.
We have 2 VIP parties. We have one tonight, one tomorrow.
Really?
Elgin's hosting tonight, and I'm hosting one tomorrow.
Who's hosting tonight?
Elgin.
Oh, all right.
I was hosting tonight. I'm doing tomorrow.
Right on. And what rooms are they in?
I think it's this one.
Is this one?
Here. Yeah, it is here. Yeah.
Thank you. Behind the curtain.
And
So both of them are here?
I,
Yeah. All right. So VIP party here tonight and tomorrow night. The DJ is amazing.
Yes.
He's such a great cat, and the hosts are always awesome. And there's prizes and stuff, right?
we'll do prizes. You guys come on up. We got a lot of neat stuff going on.
It's
there
worth
too.
it. It's worth coming. That's at what time?
That starts at, I believe, both nights. It goes 8 to 10. Or
8 to 10 people.
9:30-ish
So
or
when the
whatever.
show floor.
8 to
8 to
9:30.
9:30. Thank you, behind the curtain. By the way,
Is this Sonia, our stage manager?
yes. By the way, we have Rob in the back of the room. If you had taken a look of any of the tattoo artists that are here this weekend, he is the head of the whole floor back there. Those guys are amazing.
Contrary to popular belief, he is not one of our wrestlers. He's our
No.
tattoo wrangler.
No, I call him Rictus from Furiosa. I'm like, I had a baby brother. There he is. Say it. There you go.
And-
I tell him each time, like, you got to start cosplaying as him.
And one final question.
Yeah.
Do you both want to take a picture with this wonderful audience?
Let's do it. You ready for a
All right,
photo, everybody? Come on up to the stage, right up to the edge of the stage. We're going to
Yeah,
take a photo.
Not on the stage. Come up towards
Up
the
to the
stage.
edge
Want to take
to
a
the
picture of
stage.
them and all of you.